Welcome back, Born Winners. Stay with me as we expand our knowledge with videos from all over the internet that's going to make us question reality. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share with your friends. And also click on the notification bell icon so that any content that I post, you will be the first to get it. Let's just start.
A man, every time he smokes, always smokes 2 cigarettes at the same time. One day, a friend of his asks,
I only smoke
"Hey,
2 cigarettes.
why do you always smoke 2 cigarettes at the same time?" The man replies, "My brother is in prison. He told me to smoke a cigarette for him every time I smoke one for myself." After some time, his friend sees him smoking 1 cigarette and not 2, and he becomes surprised and asks him, "Wait, why are you only smoking 1 cigarette? Has your brother been freed from prison?" The man replies, "Nah, man, I quit smoking, but my brother didn't."
The best way to end something is to let it starve. You see, conflict thrives on attention. The moment you engage, you feed it, and whatever you feed grows. But if you simply let it be, if you withdraw your energy, it withers away like a fire deprived of air. The world is built on patterns, loops of cause and effect. Most people stay trapped within them, reacting endlessly, playing the same game over and over. But here's the secret. You don't have to play. Step back and the game collapses. Step away and new pathways unfold. Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you wish to move forward, let go. Do not return negativity. Do not wrestle with what seeks to pull you in. Instead, remove yourself entirely. Break the cycle, and life will adjust to your absence. This is where real power lies. Not in resistance, but in redirection. You are not bound to old loops. You are the creator of new ones.
They create chaos,
As a matter
and
of
they
fact,
create control.
over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the World Masonic Headquarters for World Freemasonry, over the door is Ordo ab Chao, which is Latin for order out of chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo ab Chao. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, to create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government full power to do whatever they want. That's why we're having all over the world wars, riots, bloodshed, famines, all kinds of things happening around the world. It's being manipulated. It's being orchestrated, not just for Los
It's
Angeles.
conflict control.
Conflict control.
There's been more wars since the creation of the United Nations.
All right, guys, I gotta
crazy.
do it, man. LeBron, it's time to let one of these go, bro. One of these toes need to go, bro. Straight up. And I think I got an idea which one. It's that second one. I don't see what the purpose of it at this point. I don't know what he's doing. It looks like he's just catching the ride at the end of the day, man. He's not putting in any work for your boy. You know, you got that big boy is like, he's taking on a lot, bro. He's taking on the whole entire foot. And then he got to carry this little guy on top of him. I understand that the toes are meant for balance. You know, it helps coordinate balance and standing, but I don't see what the purpose of that second
This is
one
not
is,
good,
bro.
LeBron.
He's literally not even touching the floor at this point. So I think you might need to just go ahead and cut them off. You know, you'll still have 4 of them. That big one is curled
Cut
to
him
the
off.
side, touching the third one. Your feet are throwing up gang signs. You know, literally,
It's
like
crazy.
we see it right there. But I've been seeing these pictures for years now, and I've never commented on it. But it's time today. This put out a public service announcement. LeBron, it's time to cut that second one off. These are $1 billion feet right here. Believe it or not, these feet are worth $1 billion.
Yeah,
but
right?
that toe, it got to go.
Something that I've been obsessed with over the past couple of years is flow state, and at first I thought I was just making it up, but apparently this is an actual phenomenon. And flow state is experienced a lot by athletes and musicians, and I'm getting that idea from the movie called Soul, which is awesome if you haven't seen it. They say that flow state is when your resistance drops and your activities that you're doing just go naturally. It changes your time perception too. And you can get into a flow state with just about anything, so this is how I'm going to try to live my life. But apparently, when you're in a flow state, you're in alpha and theta brainwaves, which are linked to creativity and focus. And that's also the brainwaves that you have when you're in a state of meditation. And when you're in these brainwave states, your brain is also releasing chemicals that have to do with creativity and happiness and focus, like dopamine and serotonin. And the activity slows down in the part of your brain that has to do with self-criticism and time perception. And they say that's why when you're in a flow state, time just does not make sense. It just flies. They say when you're in this state that you are fully present and you have no resistance. So they say when you're fully present, life just flows easier. And that in a divine way, when you're in that state, you could be tapped into something higher than ourselves.
Me right now, I'm in jail for killing a nigga in front of 40 people.
What?
You think I was thinking? No, I was addicted to it. So, just take it from a nigga who been through a lot. It ain't worth it, bro. It's not. 'Cause at the end of the day, them same niggas who you say love you and you out there sliding for and killing for, they gonna turn their back on you.
Obviously, man.
The moment you get stressed out and you want to get high, smoke a little weed, you feel me, or pop a little perk, and you ain't got $100 to pay for that little perk, or that $100 to pay for a 0.5 of some weed, they gonna be like, that nigga know better. He was out there killing people. He was out there taking other black men's life. He know better. He was a soldier. So they gonna use your loyalty and the fact that you violent against you, and they gonna say, hey, we're not gonna pay his $100 debt. We're gonna kill him. We're gonna stab him. And the reason they're gonna stab you is so they can show out to the ops. It's crazy, huh? And the ops would be the nigga that won't even turn you in. But your homies would be like, if any one of my homies owe you anything, tell me. Turn them in. I'ma handle it. Me. Make sure you tell me. I'ma handle it. And they don't plan on paying your debts. They plan on getting you hurt. They make rules every day that's designed for you to lose. The older homies, look at that right now. Somebody getting stabbed, man. This is the big.
You guys, I
It's
think I
crazy.
found it. This is the big one. This guy said, look into the Parliament building in Romania that was built in the 80s, and you're not going to believe the fucking story on this one. So this is the biggest building in the world, the heaviest building. It weighs over 9 billion pounds, 4.5 million tons, and it went up in the 80s. And there's not a single construction photo of it. This is all I could find. Look, they are digging it out. And look, it's dirty. It's messy. It needs to be cleaned off. It's supposed to be brand new. And then this is the other one with some stuff up next to it, but it's finished. Guys, the story's so stupid. It said that this dictator really wanted a palace, and so he had a competition, and this 28-year-old chick, when she was 28, won it. She was in charge of 700 architects and like 10,000, 30,000, the number doesn't matter, laborers. It said a lot of it was forced labor and that the army helped. These aren't even skilled craftsmen. Guys, what in the fuck? There's not a photo of the construction. I dare anyone, please go look. I looked and looked and I couldn't find a single photo of the construction of this magnificent place they say was built in the 80s. Do you see what I'm talking about? They just print shit. They just lie in front of you, and they have guns and you don't. And that's all of our history books. We're like, they couldn't pull the wool over our eyes. We knew what was going on into the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. You don't know shit. You didn't know about the biggest building in the world and that there's not a single construction photo for it other than the one of them digging it out. I think this is the smoking gun of smoking guns, unless someone can prove me wrong and say, no, they absolutely built this palace for Parliament under a sociopathic dictator. had this chick built? What are we talking? How is she not celebrated? How is this not the most talked about person on earth? And all know about Mr. Eiffel. This chick rivals him. What a ridiculous, ridiculous narrative.
Your body will determine the type of man that you attract.
Bodies! Can I expound?
Cosmetic BBL bodies attract drug dealers, gangbangers, club goers, players, thugs, unfaithful men. Natural bodies attract career men, businessmen, stable men, family men, husband material men, and if you're in the right setting, a rich man. Overweight bodies attract users, losers, abusers, criminals, men with ulterior motives. Your body is the first impression of who you are. BBL bodies don't keep men.
What do you mean by that?
Natural bodies attract quality men. Overweight bodies attract user men.
Damn.
Be careful with what you do with your body.
I like that. Be careful what you do with your body.
Kanye is coming for the Kardashians, and he is making some big time allegations on X right now. Viewer discretion is advised. This gets pretty wild, but he's saying the Kardashians are sex workers and they sex traffic all of the black children that they strategically produce. Pause and read these tweets. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what a lot of this means, but he's convinced that his children are in a trafficking ring. What? He directly comes after Kim saying that she is a trafficker, and he's saying basically, y'all think I'm crazy, but just wait and watch and see what happens. To me, this was the most interesting tweet. He said, it's time to go get my children from the situation that everyone knows they're in. They killed that boy from Lincoln Park for this, but I'm not letting my children be in this anymore. So I believe he's talking about Chester Bennington, the lead singer from Lincoln Park, and they said there was rumors that he was going to expose the sex trafficking ring, but he ended up passing away. He said, I will be dead before my kids be in Sierra Canyon in September. And now Kanye tweets this, I've been asked to go to the hospital. So let me get this right. I'm not allowed to speak out loud. And why would I be asked to go to the hospital after what I've said today? And he posts a screenshot of his text. I got the knock on the door after I called out the sex trafficking. And the text says, go to a hotel you don't normally stay at, please. There are people all over the city who get a check in one way or another from that family. Just be careful for a couple nights. Just some context, his other tweets are absolutely crazy, but this is some heavy stuff, so I'm curious to know what you guys think about this whole situation.
I really think that we're towards the end of time. I don't think humanity, I know this sounds crazy to people, but I think that based on the signs of the end of the world in Christianity and Islam's very specific, by the way. Some of the signs in Islam, when buildings touch the sky in the Arab world, he said, the day will come where the pagan Arabs, but the Arabs will make buildings that touch the sky. And as soon as they build one, they'll build another, and they'll compete with each other. Now Saudi Arabia is building the biggest building on earth. And they're gonna boast about it. He said this 1400 years ago. He said the day will come when dishes communicate. They're gonna talk to each other and families will be torn apart. The word he used back then is the word that the Arabs use today for satellite television, bro. Dishes will talk. He said they're gonna hang up mats on their walls. Like you have this TV, it looks like he's like, they're gonna hang them up. And he used his hands. He made like a rectangle. They're gonna put them on the wall and it's gonna destroy their souls. Because all you see under this filth, Danny. These are his words, bro. You read these prophecies, they're amazing, man. He said men will become women, women will become men. He said that you just gotta go study the signs of the end of the world and Christianity and Islam. It'll blow your mind away.
How do you think we went down this path, though? Do you think there at some point there was a fork in the road where we could have gone down another path?
Following desire, Danny. What I was trying to say earlier is that why did God make the angels bow to humanity? Because when a human being, out of their own free will, chooses to submit their desires to follow the Creator, they are higher than the angel. Because the angel cannot sin. That's why the devil was not a fallen angel. The devil had free will. When a human being acts according to the gift that God gave them, which is intelligence, they are higher than all of creation. When a human being only acts upon desire, eating, drinking, soccer, not all there is to life, man? Eating, right? Tony Montana said in the restaurant. Is this all there is to life, huh? Eating, drinking. I can't even have a little kill with her, man. I got a zombie for a wife. We become zombies, bro, because all we do is follow our desire. Eat, drink, no one else, nothing else. We become lower than the animals because animals act like that. Animals they don't have intellect. They only have instinct and desire. They eat, drinks, being, that's all, and it's scary. They call us consumers, cattle. When a human being only follows their desires, they are lower than the animals.
Hey Neil, what are you doing?
Watering the plants?
What is your favorite task to do in the house?
Definitely watering the plants. That's why I've done it so many times.
Why?
Can I shake
Sounds
your
like a
hand?
human being. I was even about to say he sounds.
Sure.
I need to get out of watering plants mode. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Bye.
So awkward. What's going on in this world? Man, a lot of jobs are about to be lost, man. Cleaners. Bro, this is so terrifying.
We're having some networking problems, so Neo is going to be back in a couple of minutes once the equipment is done restarting.
There
And then I
are
hope
people that
things
will
will be
watch
cheaper.
this clip and look you in the eye and tell you that God is not real and that the spiritual realm is fake and a fairy tale.
I'm Terrence Swain. I'm a mother of 6, and the Ventura County Public School socially transitioned my daughter without my consent.
What? How?
I'm come here today to offer nothing but prayer, and I want to lift up my Father in heaven. Father God, I just come to you in Jesus' name. I pray, Father, that you would tear down.
Notice how everyone was fine until Jesus. And then all of a sudden, everybody was triggered.
Yeah.
Would tear down the strongholds in this place. I pray, Father, that you would raise up the men in this room.
Stop.
I pray, Father, that you would
Stop.
I pray that you would raise
Stop
up
the time. Speaker.
everybody on this. Everybody.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop. Thank you.
Damn, that's
You don't do
crazy.
prayer. Please finish your comments. Finish your comments. Finish your comments, please. You have 28 seconds.
And I do pray all this in the name of the Jesus, the Son, the Father, and the Holy
Thank you.
Spirit.
Thank you.
Jesus is the King of Kings, and He is the Lord of Lords. And I pray that all the high places here will be torn down in the name of Christ. Jesus is the Lord of Lords, and every
Like
knee,
that.
Your time
every
is up.
knee will bow.
Your time is up. Thank
Every
you. Your
knee
time is
will
up.
bow.
Whoever this woman is an absolute queen, but also take notice of how triggered everybody is by the name Jesus. If she had said Buddha, Allah, any of the other ones, nobody would have made a peep because Jesus Christ is the truth. All other religions are false, fallen angel, satanic religions. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.
Every woman has 3 men. Which one are you? Gentlemen, let me break it down for you with biblical precision and red pill truth that will shake your soul. Every woman has 3 men in her life. It's not a theory, it's reality. The 3 men in her life. The one she's attracted to. The one she truly desires. He barely gives her attention, and guess what? That makes her want him more. She waits for his texts, she craves his validation, and she would do anything to get his commitment. But he doesn't chase. He's the prize. The backup plan, aka Mr. Good Guy, Mr. Maybe Someday. He's the emotional tampon, the safety net. She keeps him around for compliments, for emotional support, and when the first guy disappoints her, she considers him. She texts him when she's sad, but she doesn't respect him. And let's be real, if a woman doesn't respect you, she can never truly love you. The guy with no chance, aka simp, ATM, Mr. Pay My Bills. This is the man who angels themselves couldn't convince her to date. If Archangel Michael and Gabriel descended from heaven and told her, "Daughter, this man loves you," she would still say no. He is invisible. His texts get ignored. His good morning messages are laughed at. He is used, abused, and discarded. Do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroys kings. Proverbs 31:3. The simp cycle, how she plays him like a fiddle main guy. She wakes up waiting for his text but pretends she doesn't care. Backup guy, he sends good morning angel. She might reply, just to keep him around. The simp, he texts, good morning angel. Ignored. He texts again, hope you slept well angel. Ignored. He tries again, I dreamt about you last night. You were holding a flower and I was singing for you. Ignored. He keeps pushing, hope you've eaten this morning. Now she sees an opportunity. She finally replies, oh, you're so sweet. Actually, I haven't eaten. Can you send me 5,000? Transfer alert. 7,000 sent. Him. What are you doing today, baby?
Ignored.
Her. Ignored. He thinks he's making progress. In reality, he's a pawn in her game. A fool and his money are soon parted. Proverbs 21:20. Wake up, kings. Are you the prize, or are you the provider of free attention, free money, and free emotional labor? Are you the desired, or are you the default option? Are you the man she waits by the phone for, or the one she only texts when her stomach is empty? Gentlemen, the game is rigged against the weak. Women respect power, confidence, and self-respect. They don't respect men who beg, over-pursue, and give without value. If you find yourself in the simp zone, ask yourself, does she prioritize you, or does she only use you? Does she respect you, or just reply when she needs something? Would she date you if she had better options? Remember, women don't fall in love with men they pity. They fall for the ones they respect. Which man are you? Let me know in the comments. If you don't wake up, if you keep simping, if you keep chasing single mothers and used up women, you will continue to be useless, broke, drained, and disrespected. Subscribe to Brave Minds now. Because if you don't, women will continue to play you, single mothers will continue to drain you, and your life will be nothing but a never-ending clown show. Every day you're not subscribed, you're a step clown in training. So, hit that subscribe button, or keep getting finessed, stepped on, and used like a disposable ATM. Brave Minds is the cure. Weak men will perish. The choice is yours.
Weak men will perish. The choice is yours.
So I'm going to show you something pretty wild. Underneath the Khafre Pyramid, one of the great pyramids of Giza, they discovered a building that is 2 kilometers in size.
Last Saturday. Whoa! This March 15th press release summarized the key findings in the team's research of the second largest pyramid of the Giza Plateau, known as the Khafre Pyramid. And what they found was astonishing. The analysis of dozens of tomographic SAR images obtained from different angles enabled the 3D reconstruction of inside the pyramid of Khafre and deep beneath the surface of the plateau. Near the base of the pyramid, 5 identical structures are seen, connected by geometric pathways. Inside each of these are 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof. Below these 5 structures are 8 cylindrical structures, which appear to be vertical wells high inside and surrounded by descending spiral pathways. These 8 vertically aligned cylindrical structures, arranged in 2 parallel rows from north to south, descend to a depth of 648 meters, where they all merge into 2 large cubic structures, measuring approximately 80 meters per side. The entire structure extends approximately 2 kilometers beneath the surface and extends beneath all 3 pyramids of the Giza Plateau.
The shamir is one of the most fascinating and mysterious elements tied to Solomon's temple. A legendary substance or tool that's said to have played a vital role in its construction. Descriptions of the shamir are rare, but the details that do exist make it one of the strangest pieces of the Solomon story, and one that may tie back to deeper, more esoteric traditions. According to Talmudic tradition and various Jewish texts, the shamir was a supernatural object used by Solomon to cut stone for the temple. The mystery deepens when you consider that the Book of Kings states that the temple was built without the sound of iron tools, The house was built of stone prepared at the quarry, so that neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron was heard in the house while it was being built. 1 Kings 6:7. This is where the shamir comes in. Jewish legend claims this mysterious substance had the power to cut through stone, iron, and even diamonds. Yet it wasn't a tool in the conventional sense. The shamir was said to be a small living creature, possibly a worm, insect, or some unknown organic entity, capable of splitting rock with precision. The shamir's origins are murky, but it's often described as an object dating back to Moses' time, allegedly used to inscribe the 10 Commandments on the stone tablets. Later, Solomon is said to have obtained it to cut the massive stones for his temple without using iron tools, a material that was considered impure for sacred work. Stories describe the shamir as being so potent that it had to be stored in a metal container, as this was the only way to contain its destructive energy. Even touching it improperly was said to be dangerous. Some interpretations suggest the shamir wasn't a living worm at all, but rather some kind of ancient technology, a powerful tool or substance lost to history. The description of it as a living force may have been an attempt to describe something that ancient writers had no language for, possibly a chemical reaction, a vibrational frequency, or even a form of laser-like technology. Given Solomon's reputation for possessing hidden wisdom and advanced understanding of metallurgy, geometry, and construction, some believe the shamir could have been an artifact linked to those ideas, something that might trace back to the same esoteric traditions tied to the Anunnaki or other ancient cultures. The fact that Solomon relied heavily on Phoenician craftsmen, particularly Hiram Abiff, a figure often associated with mystical building practices, only strengthens the idea that advanced knowledge played a role in the temple's construction. The shamir may have been part of that.
Wow, never heard of this.
The Babylonian Talmud contains one of the most detailed references to the shamir, connecting it to both Moses and Solomon. The shamir was created during the twilight of the 6th day of creation. It could cut through any material. When Solomon sought to build the temple without using iron tools, he inquired where the shamir could be found. It was said to be in the possession of the Prince of the Sea, guarded by the wild rooster, a type of mythical bird called the dukifat, often identified as the hoopoe bird. This passage describes Solomon's quest to obtain the shamir. Since iron tools were forbidden for use in constructing the temple, 1 Kings 6:7, Solomon sought a tool that could cut stone without metal, leading him to the legendary shamir. Pirkei Avot 5:6 briefly mentions the shamir too, placing it among 10 miraculous items created at twilight just before the first Sabbath. Alongside objects like Moses' staff and the manna, the shamir is presented as something unique, not of ordinary origin. The Midrash Tanchuma, Pekudei 10, gives another angle. Here the sages inform Solomon that the shamir had once been used by Moses himself to engrave the gemstones worn by the high priest. Solomon then sends men to retrieve it from the mysterious dukifat bird, reinforcing the idea that it was a physical object, carefully guarded and passed down through generations. In the Targum Sheni, an Aramaic commentary on the Book of Esther, Solomon's command of the shamir is referenced again, emphasizing his ability to silently shape the stones of the temple without iron. Finally, though indirectly, the Testament of Solomon, an apocryphal text, describes Solomon's ability to command spiritual and supernatural forces to assist in the temple's construction. While it doesn't explicitly name the shamir, the story aligns with the concept that Solomon had unusual methods at his disposal, something beyond conventional tools. Together, these texts suggest the shamir wasn't just legendary, but possibly a genuine ancient artifact or technique, something known to the builders of Solomon's temple, knowledge that later became lost or obscured.
Whoa.
Could the Shamir have been a remnant of pre-flood knowledge? Something passed down from the civilizations that existed before the Great Deluge? The temple's strange features, from the silent assembly of stones to the precisely cut blocks, hint at techniques far beyond what Iron Age builders should have been capable of. If the Templars believed Solomon's temple held the secrets of the Shamir, it would explain their relentless excavation beneath Temple Mount. The Shamir's supposed ability to manipulate stone and metal would have been invaluable, not only as a tool, but as a potential source of power. Whether the Shamir was a literal object, a forgotten technology, or a misunderstood concept, the legend fits into the broader idea that Solomon's wisdom wasn't entirely his own, that it was inherited from older hidden traditions. The Shamir is one of those fascinating details that's been largely forgotten, yet it ties into so many other threads. Lost knowledge, mysterious relics, and the idea that Solomon's temple may have held far more than just religious significance. If the Templars were digging for something powerful beneath Temple Mount, the Shamir, or whatever it truly was, may have been exactly what they were after.
There were two indicators that let me know when I had grown up. But they had nothing to do with moving out of my mom's house. It had nothing to do with getting a nice car. It had nothing to do with money or material things at all. Two things I noticed. The first one was when I stopped letting people upset me, especially strangers, but really anybody. Mom, cousin, aunt, anybody. When I stopped responding to things that call for anger with anger and started responding with nonchalantness, disinterest, borderline boredom. Once I started responding like that, I knew it was starting. But that second one, I ain't see this one coming. I should have, but I just didn't. The second one was about how I look at people, specifically how I look at women. Once my mind shifted from trying to figure out which woman I want to smash to which woman I would want to marry, I knew I had grown up. Because I'm not talking about for the moment, oh, you're so beautiful, I need to marry you. I'm talking about character, almost to the point that I feel dumb letting you go. Once I started thinking like that, I knew I had grown up.
Because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw?
What'd you see?
Exactly what I thought I was going to see.
What?
80 women sitting alone. No men in sight. None.
I saw so many black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for black creatives did like this cute Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not.
Singles event, and here's why I think we're doomed to be single for the rest of our lives. That was a bit dramatic, but let me tell my story. So I went to singles night at church's Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Steven since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. There's going to be 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear any more, especially not with a biblical spin. Instead of having meaningful conversations about finding and building Christ-centered relationships,
We just left the event, right? So bad. I think we were just saying that we think that we've actually hit rock bottom.
No, it was actually.
We think we've actually hit rock bottom, and I think we were either punked, catfished,
or it felt like a sick joke.
And my spirit, while I was there, my spirit told me, no mas, por favor. I am not going to no more of these, okay? That rhymed, period. I'm not going to anymore, and here's why. So that singles event was cool because they actually had a mix and mingle session at the end where they put us in a very cool atmosphere for people to talk and meet with each other. Although there was like 3 men there and 300 women, I loved the fact that they did that. I thought that was really cool. But my thing is, you go to one single event, you go to them all. They got the same message, and I'm gonna tell y'all what they be saying so that you can know ahead of time. If you feel like you're called to go, go. If you feel like the Lord is telling you to go, go. If you've never been, go. If you want to mix and mingle with other single people, go. But let me tell you, this is gonna be the singles conference starter pack. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get, okay?
I'm gonna get hate for this, but whatever. I approached a black man this week at like a dating event, and he was not interested in me, and that by itself is like not a great story, right? I tried to shoot my shot, he was not interested, I moved on. But immediately after I walked away from this man, he went up to a group of 5 white women and he introduced himself to all of them. And then I kind of observed out of like the corner of my eye for the rest of the evening, this man was only going up and talking to different white women. Later that night, another very attractive black man came in, the exact same thing, only talked to the white women that were in the room. There were maybe 6 or 7 black women throughout, and I could tell. I would look over at the black women occasionally, they would be looking, we would all be observing the same thing. We're all thinking the same thing, right? And as someone who has reviewed a bunch of different like dating events, I have seen this play out so many times where you walk into a room, the black women are looking for other black men, and the black men are not looking for black women. Unless the host of the event is like a black person or a person of color. And as much as I say that I am going to start dating outside my race, my mind, whenever I walk into like
the individual who seeks greatness must go.
A lot of people do not know that the word church goes back to a Scottish word kirk, which is why you have a television show with Captain Kirk, the good ship Enterprise. That's what Kirk is, enterprise, money, political power. Kirk can be traced back to a Roman goddess named Circe. Circe in Rome can be traced back to a Greek goddess Circe. She was called Mother Circe. She was able to hypnotize people, bring them into her house, turn them into pigs and eat them and live off of them. And this is what has happened today. Mother Circe, Mother Kirk, Mother Church has hypnotized nations and people to come into her house, turned them into animals to be used as cannon fodder for wars throughout the world and live off of them.
This is insane, man. Crazy.
There's a reason the elite, ancient mystery schools and quantum physicists have all guarded one secret with their lives. Reality is not made of matter. It's made of thought. But here's the twist. Your thoughts alone are not enough. That's the trap they set. They convinced you that wanting, wishing, and visualizing would be enough to manifest dreams into existence. But the truth? Thought is just the ignition. The real power is in how you charge it. That's what the most powerful minds in history knew. There's a hidden force that turns a thought into a tangible, physical event, and you've been using it unconsciously your entire life. But until you master it, you'll never control your manifestations. Think about it. 2 people can have the exact same thought. One succeeds, the other fails. Why? Because thoughts are like seeds, but only emotion is the soil that makes them grow. The reason why most people fail at the law of attraction isn't because they lack desire. It's because their frequency contradicts their goal. They want wealth but vibrate in scarcity. They crave love but exist in loneliness. Manifestation isn't about forcing reality to obey you. It's about aligning with the version of you where what you desire is already inevitable. And that's what they never wanted you to figure out. Because the moment you do, you collapse the waiting time. You override the illusion of delay. You manifest in real time. This is the quantum hacking method, a technique that bypasses the subconscious resistance keeping you stuck. It works because it doesn't focus on what you want. It focuses on who you are becoming. Want money? Stop chasing it. Shift into the version of you where wealth is a byproduct. Want love? Stop needing it. Merge into the self where it already exists. The secret is terrifyingly simple. The universe is not responding to your requests. It's responding to your frequency. And when you learn to manipulate your frequency, you stop playing by the old rules. You don't wait. You don't hope. You force reality to shift on command. But there's something even more powerful, a glitch in time that lets you manifest faster than anything you've ever experienced.
Of their revenue from something else. Grocery stores don't really make as much profit as you think. Their margins are as thin as 1 to 3%, which means if you spend $100 at a grocery store, they're going to end up making $1 to $3 at most out of the 100. Considering the tremendous amount of capital it takes to run a grocery store, it's almost impossible for companies to survive on such low profit margins. But they already know that. That's why grocery stores are not in the food business. In fact, they're in the real estate business.
Okay.
Let's first establish how the typical grocery store layout works. One of the common grocery store layouts is the grid. Your retail fixtures are arranged in long rows. They're also typically placed at right angles throughout your store, making it easier for customers to get a preview of what's in the aisle without having to go through it. From the width of the passages to the shelves dimensions, every square inch of the store is utilized to its fullest capacity. The grid layout also uses the loop concept, meaning the flow coming from the entrance should never cross paths with customers exiting, making the whole shopping experience an actual loop where the customer is guided in and out of the store seamlessly. But one could argue, all of these design strategies are present in many commercial establishments, not just grocery stores. So where does the trickery actually begin? The manipulation starts the second you step inside the store. The first thing most shoppers...
The Super Bowl, well, they actually use the World's Fairs buildings of New York and other places, and there's electric towers that surround them. This is why the coliseums or the stadiums that they use are in a bowl. You always think of all the stadiums, all the football, soccer, sports, it's always in a bowl. The reason it's in a bowl is because that energy is being taken from the fans, being interjected into the players, and they're harnessing or harvesting that energy. The mind is influencing the players the entire time. And this is how powerful the mind really is. But we're not taught that. Because if we started to understand that people could group together and be very powerful, then that's a threat to the system. And when it's interesting, because when you look at the Super Bowl, you know, the whole Super Bowl, well, they actually use the World's Fairs buildings of New York and other places, and there's electric towers that surround them because they understand that the Roman circus is actually harnessing energy and the ether the entire time. They're just using it in a different way. They're making you entertained while you watch the sports and not tell you that it's taking your energy that whole entire time.
Kanye has officially went crazy, y'all. This man got an unalivened wish, if you know what I'm talking about. Did y'all just see what he said about Jay-Z and Beyonce kids? The twins? Yo man is wildin', y'all. This man wrote, has anybody seen Beyonce and Jay-Z twins? They are our words. Literally. That's what this man just said. Then he goes, this is why artificial insemination is a blessing. He said having R-word kids is a choice. Y'all see what it say right here. I'm telling y'all, something is wrong with his Abdullah Oblongata. They really did something to clone your brain, y'all. It is not right. This man is wildin'. Like, you didn't have to bring the kids into it. That's where the line crossed. That's wild, bro. They only kids. You could go at Jay-Z and Beyonce, but leave the kids alone. He going at everybody neck. He said F everybody. Maybe y'all, he hella mad because he might have to lose $500 million if that divorce is finalized. I need y'all to drop y'all thoughts down below in the comments on what the hell is going on with Kanye. What is his motive here? I really need to know.
Neither Iran or the United States want to fight each other. It's the Israelis who have been trying to pull the Iranians and the Americans into a fight.
Netanyahu's greatest dream in life is a war between the United States and Iran. He's not given up, and it's not impossible that that would come.
Netanyahu will drag him into the abyss because he wants this war in the Middle East come hell or high water, and it's not in their interest.
What war?
The war with Iran.
I would note that for a good part of the presidential campaign, the deep state was telling the candidate Donald Trump that the state of Iran is trying to kill you, which as far as I know was totally untrue, by the way. But they were telling him that in order to prepare him to attack Iran, which they're still trying to do.
If they start talking to you about fighting a war with Iran, you treat them like an enemy that they are. They are not on your side. Our people do not want to fight any more wars in the Middle East, period.
Check this out. This is the most advanced shipping port in the world. It's in Guangzhou, China. But if you look closely, there's something super strange about it. It operates without any workers. All those vehicles are driving around autonomously. And there isn't a single human on the ground. It's pretty insane. Now, the craziest part about this whole operation is the crane system. You see those giant machines unloading the cargo from the ships? It turns out those are all being controlled remotely using joysticks. There's a whole room full of crane operators off-site. It's like esports meets logistics. Now, because these ports are using the latest AI and machine learning, they are insanely efficient. They can run for 24 hours a day and are saving China millions in labor costs. This smart port model is being cloned all over the country and is a massive supply chain advantage. And I think soon it'll be the standard for every port around the world.
You to shut off the logical part of your mind. Okay. Embrace nothingness. You got it. Become like an uncarved stone. Done. Bart, you're just pretending to know what I'm talking about. True. Well, it's very frustrating. I'll bet. Bart, I have a riddle for you. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Piece of cake. No, Bart, it's a 3,000-year-old riddle with no answer. It's supposed to clear your mind of conscious thought. No answer? Lisa, listen up.
That was a snap, okay.
Let's try another one. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a sound? Absolutely. But Bart, how can sound exist if there's no one there to hear it? Ooh, it is time.
I saw this on the show.
I'm gonna save money when they are in a relationship. Obviously, yes.
When women are in relationships, most of the time, they save money. When men are single, they save money. So when women get online and say stuff like, if you don't have enough money, don't date, they're not talking about themselves. They're talking about men. Because one of the biggest perks of being in a relationship with a man, from the perspective of a woman, is that she doesn't have to spend
It's like women use psychology to beat us every time and make it look like we are the ones who are not being masculine.
Baby,
but then it's to their advantage. This is crazy.
Bills, extra bills that don't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. I'm just doing this because I love you and I know you want me to do it. It's kind of like women and giving head. Very few of you do it for the love of the game, right? Remember that, because I feel like there's women mindlessly walking around, never seeing anything from a male perspective, and they can't grasp that concept. Like, he is spending more money on you than you ever spent on him. Ever. Like, you
so
never
unfair.
even have. Especially, like, I'll take myself, for example. There is not I'm married now. Well, when I was dating, there was not a woman on earth who could say, like, oh, John, I had to spend so much money in a relationship. Yo, I can get in front of all my followers and say, I don't think I've ever been in a relationship where a woman was paying for anything, ever. Like, you go out to eat, who the fuck going 50-50? I'd be embarrassed if a woman reached for a bill. I know I preach the 50-50 shit, but I be talking about when we're doing life. Like, she want to pick out apartments. Okay, I hope you willing to contribute, but like dating, going out to eat, hanging out, who asking who for money? Yo, do women not understand that?
Let me tell y'all a true story. Be so boom, watch this video to the end. Satan's plan against us. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
Satan's plan against us. Now, makes you question God's word and his goodness. Subscribe!
Really?
Diversion makes the wrong things seem attractive so that you will want them more than the right things.
Shut up!
Defeat makes you feel like a failure so that you don't even try. And delay.
Come on.
Makes you put off doing something so that it never gets done.
Shut up! You see what it is. You know he has a plan for you to fail. He makes you doubt yourself. He makes you think that you're not worthy of things. Shut up! But you are. And you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but his job is to make sure you don't do it. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what that lady's talking about, but I'm gonna have to look into it myself. But what she was saying kind of made sense. Shut up! You keep pushing things off. When you gonna do it? You said you was gonna do it last week, you didn't do nothing. It's this week, you still didn't do nothing. You gonna do it, let me guess, you're gonna do it tomorrow. Tuesday, still you talking crap. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game right here, guys, and you know what time is it. Who are you? I know who I am. A little bit. Shut up! You better figure it out. We were all put here for a reason. What's your reason? Because I can't tell you. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game right here, guys, and you know what's going on. But I tell you one thing. If I ever see that guy that she was talking about, that spirit or wherever the hell he is, in these streets, I'm gonna hit him with the Holy Ghost.
You won't believe this, but an amateur pilot stumbled upon an unexplainable place in the mountains of Tibet, a discovery that has shocked the entire world. While flying over the Tibetan mountains, he noticed a strange bunker that wasn't marked on any maps. As it turned out, no one had ever known about this bunker, and it had remained untouched by humans. After the pilot shared the footage with the public, scientists immediately took an interest. They sent a team to investigate the mysterious bunker. The researchers managed to descend into its shafts, which stretched deep underground and branched out like a labyrinth. After 5 hours of exploration, they found something so extraordinary that it forced them to halt their investigation and classify all their findings. However, the discovery quickly leaked online, and what you're seeing on your screens is undeniable proof that someone or something existed before us. But where did these artifacts come from? Who left them there? What do you think this could be? And why is it hidden in such a remote place?
There is no trophy for lasting long in bed. Who told you that spending 10 hours on top of a woman is an achievement? What exactly have you gained from it? Respect, power, legacy? Nothing.
Nothing.
It only reveals one thing. You are jobless, unfocused, and lacking purpose. Your life is being drained, your energy wasted on momentary pleasure, while your destiny rots in neglect. Stop giving your strength to women. Stop throwing your time and power into the bottomless pit of lust. Redirect your focus to your goals, your empire, your future. Proverbs 31:3 says, "Do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroys kings." Quran 23:3 says, "And they who turn away from ill speech, vain desires, are the successful." These are not mere words. These are laws of power. The greatest men in history did not become great by indulging in lust. They became great by mastering themselves, by channeling their energy into dominion, wealth, and legacy. But you waste yourself chasing meaningless pleasure, throwing away your life one night at a time. Poor men rely on sex-enhancing drugs and bedroom performance to impress a woman. Weak men use lust to fill the void of their failures. Broke men try to compensate for their lack of value with temporary pleasure. But real men, they don't chase, they attract. They use success, power, and financial dominance to bring women into their orbit. The question is, which one are you? You were not created to be a slave to lust. You were not placed on this earth to waste your days satisfying the desires of a woman while your own purpose remains unfulfilled. No one will ever reward you for how long you lasted in bed. No one will remember how many women you have conquered. But they will remember your success. They will remember the power you built, the empire you left behind, the legacy that carried your name into history. Stop stressing over how to impress women in bed. That is a foolish distraction, a game for weak men. Your focus should be on dominance in life, not performance in the bedroom. Your greatest mission is not sex, it is power, it is wealth, it is self-mastery. Take care of yourself, not for the sake of women, but for the sake of your own excellence. Eat clean, exercise, avoid alcohol, detox your system, build natural strength. Stop poisoning yourself with drugs just to impress a woman who will forget you the moment she finds a man with more power. If you perform well, fine. If you don't, so be it. A real woman will respect a man of substance, not just a man of stamina. The only women who will complain are those who have already destroyed themselves. Women who have wrecked their bodies with lust, toys, and endless meaningless encounters. Women whose appetites have become insatiable, their desires unnatural, their souls empty. That is their problem, not yours. Stop wasting your time. Sex will not build your empire. It will not make you rich. It will not carve your name into history. Whenever you are done, leave. Whenever your purpose calls, get back to it. The moment you start prioritizing pleasure over progress, you have lost the game of life. There is no reward for chasing women, but there is a reward for chasing greatness. There is no victory in being a slave to lust, but there is victory in mastering yourself and dominating your purpose. The world does not belong to men who waste themselves on pleasure. It belongs to men who control themselves, men who build, men who create, men who lead. So ask yourself, what are you doing with your life? Are you another weak man lost in the illusions of pleasure, or are you one of the few who will rise above it? Will you continue throwing your strength away on meaningless indulgence, or will you reclaim your power and build something that lasts forever? The choice is yours, but time is running out. If you don't wake up, if you keep simping, if you keep chasing single mothers and used-up women, you will continue to be useless, broke, drained, and disrespected. Subscribe to Brave Minds now. Because if you don't, women will continue to play you, single mothers will continue to drain you, and your life will be nothing but a never-ending clown show. Every day you're not subscribed, you're a step clown in training. So, hit that subscribe button, or keep getting finessed, stepped on, and used like a disposable ATM. Brave minds is the cure. Weak men will perish. The choice is yours.
You're telling me a fucking movie just exposed how celebrities are aging backwards? Just watch this.
How old would you guess I am? I wouldn't. Come on, don't try to flatter me. 38. Oh, 28. 23. I am 71 years old.
What?
Hold out your hand.
This is crazy.
And now listen to what Paris Hilton says.
Your deal, you're aging backwards, yeah?
Yeah.
You're working on it?
Yeah.
It's working.
Thank you. It's Benjamin Button.
It's really impressive.
I feel really proud that I'm all natural. I've never done any Botox, injectables, no surgery, nothing.
But what's crazy is that celebrities like J.Lo and Salma Hayek have come out to say that they've never had any work done, yet they still look this good at their age. But Salma did reveal a secret in this interview.
What am I doing? You want to know? Yes, what are you doing? You know, I do a lot of different things. None of the things everybody does. Tell me. I embrace fat, the good fat. This is very important. I think people are afraid of fat, and fat is your friend.
Fat, well, if you say so.
The right
fat it is.
The right fats can keep you young for a long time.
And by now, we all know that our collagen drops by the time we turn 25, and also most of our skincare products have chemicals in them. And I was a little skeptical, so I did some research, and I actually found other celebrities that swear by beef tallow or beef fat.
You use beef tallow?
I do use beef tallow. I didn't know that.
As a moisturizer?
Yeah, how the hell did you know that? It's the best. Okay, do me a favor, right? If you're watching this or if you're just listening in the room, or tomorrow morning, whenever you put your moisturizer on, go look at your moisturizer, right? It probably has like 50 ingredients, and you might know like what 2 of them are, right? Beef tallow is just beef tallow. It's just beef fat.
And it turns out that beef tallow naturally has vitamins and antioxidants and something called CLA, which mimics our skin barrier. And because I dealt with acne for so many years, I would even use products that my dermatologist would recommend and nothing seemed to work. I just decided to simplify my skincare routine with just beef tallow and water, and you guys can see how clear my skin looks. Honestly, this is the clearest it's ever been. Not gonna lie, I was kind of scared to try it because I have sensitive skin, but I've been using this insensitive version of this brand. I really, really like this. It has the highest quality ingredients. It literally has grass-fed beef tallow, which has the highest CLA. It's so important. It also has manuka honey and pot marigold flowers that are anti-inflammatory and help soothe and heal the skin. The only bad thing is they went viral, so there's a ton of fake listings. You want to make sure it's by the seller Evil Goods. I'll have it somewhere here in the orange card if you guys want to try it. But hurry up and get it because it sells out really fast.
Yeah, Nephilim definitely were a thing. Look at the size of this fucking door.
So big.
Look at the people below it in comparison to it. Do you see how massive that shit is? Why in the ever-loving fuck would you need a door that big for humans? And here another one. Look how big this shit is compared to this dude. It even has human-sized doors at the bottom of it. So what the hell was these for then? Shit. Here's another one. These just are all over the world. Just huge-ass doors. Which would also explain these huge-ass fucking steps. Look at the people in the size comparison to these steps. These shits was definitely made for giants. Then we got these big-ass books. Why would we need a book that big?
Yeah, right.
That shit was not made for us or made by us. And I'm sure we all know an old person that be reading from them huge ass books, like your grandma got a big ass Bible or something. This ain't that, bro. This is not the same. Look at the size of this book. That book would crush your grandmother. And then they wearing gloves when they open them. That shows you how old it is. It's very old. Yeah, bro. Something's fishy going on here.
It's crazy. What? And we've come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Very mind-bending, like new discoveries. I learned a lot in these videos. I hope you did too as well. And we are at the end. I mean, obviously, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also share with your friends, and also click on the notification bell icon so that any video that I post, you will be the first to get it. Adios amigos, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.